You're asking the wrong guy. I'm a hardcore boxing fan. He's one of my heroes. I find it very sad, but it's a big event. I understand people are going to watch it.
You're asking the wrong guy. I'm a hardcore boxing fan, and he's one of my heroes. It's very sad, but it's a big event. I understand people are going to watch it and see it as entertainment, but for someone who idolized him growing up, it's not the best situation. He's 58 years old. Applause. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time, Mike Tyson has addressed British promoter Eddie Hearn's criticism of his upcoming bout with Jake Paul. Hearn hasn't held back his disapproval of the matchup. He plans to attend the event to support Katie Taylor's highly anticipated rematch with Amanda Serrano on the undercard. However, he has made it clear that he will leave the arena before Tyson and Paul face off, describing their fight as dangerous, irresponsible, and disrespectful to boxing. Former heavyweight champion Tyson was asked about Hearn's comments and responded, Well, that's Eddie's opinion, and that's all I can say. Turner is not alone in worrying about Tyson's safety as the fight, which will be streamed live on Netflix next month, approaches. Tyson's declaration that he would prefer to die in the ring rather than in the hospital has also alarmed fans. In a promotional video on Netflix, Tyson stated, "I don't do anything if I don't risk being embarrassed like now. I want to fight this young man. This is really big for me. If I win, I will be immortal. If I do it bad, I don't want to die in a hospital bed. I want to die in the ring." The fight between Tyson and Paul was initially planned but was postponed after Tyson experienced a medical problem while flying. A flare-up of an ulcer necessitated medical treatment, delaying the altercation with Paul. Meanwhile, Katie Taylor's rematch with Amanda Serrano on the undercard of Mike Tyson's fight with Jake Paul is now set at a catchweight of 138 pounds. Their initial showdown in 2022 had fans on edge as Taylor eked out a victory by split decision, while some in the boxing world believed Serrano had shown enough to secure the win. The two fighters are now set to settle the score once and for all. Taylor enters the ring fresh off her triumphant revenge over Chantel Cameron, solidifying her legacy as an undisputed world champion across two weight classes. Meanwhile, Serrano created a stir back in July by delivering a show-stopping knockout against Stevie Morgan with the super lightweight titles on the line. Next month, the fighters were originally slated to clash at the division's 140 pounds limit. However, Taylor has now confirmed the fight will be contested at 138 pounds instead. Speaking to the Irish Mirror, Taylor said, "I think we're probably the same size, to be honest. The fight has actually been made at 138. It's a catchweight, but I think if you look at myself and Serrano, we're the same size. I could make 126 pounds as well if I tried." She added, "I don't think she's looked too well at that weight for the last few fights. She looks drained from making that weight, so I don't know if it's any advantage or not, but I certainly feel good at this weight. I feel strong at this weight." At 38, Taylor has recently faced rumors about stepping away from the ring. However, the brave boxer is unwavering, firmly stating she has no plans to retire anytime soon. Chatting with Off the Ball, Taylor shared, "Yeah, I think that part of my life doesn't faze me. Once I give up the gloves and give up the sport, I'm going to be very satisfied that I've given it everything that I could over these last few years. I've given my life to the sport, really, both as a pro and as an amateur. From the first time I laced up a pair of gloves at 9 or 10, I have loved every single moment of it. I've learned so much about myself in the highs and lows of sports." Taylor added, "But all of those moments have led me to this moment as well, so I'm super excited to see what's going to happen on November 15th. But when it's time to step away from the sport, I think I'm going to enjoy that part of my life as well." Jake Paul, the 27-year-old former YouTube sensation, enters the ring brimming with confidence, believing the age difference tilts the odds in his favor. Still, Tyson isn't one to back down. Fueled by the enthusiastic response to his recent training videos and matching his opponent's bravado punch for punch, Tyson delved into his mental and physical preparations for his upcoming clash with Paul at the iconic AT&T Stadium, home turf of the Dallas Cowboys. During a recent TalkSport interview, Tyson has vowed to catch and slaughter Paul, whose impressive 10-1 pro boxing record has sparked significant attention across the sport. He said, "When you're in a big fight, you have to become delusional and believe you're somebody that you're actually not. Paul is in a lot of trouble." However, when discussing his strategy generally, Tyson disclosed that his issue with the problem child extends beyond this particular fight. Tyson stated, "I don't fear for him because he stepped into the ring. If my mother steps into the ring, she has a problem with me. Don't go in the ring if you don't want that problem. Tragically, Tyson's mother will never witness his return to the ring for a match against Paul. Lorna Mae Tyson passed away in 1982 when Mike was just 16 and already entangled in legal troubles. She missed the opportunity to see her son evolve into a formidable force in boxing during the late 1980s, a period highlighted by his rise to become the WBC heavyweight champion in 1986. In just 2 weeks, Tyson is determined to reclaim the iconic spirit of the 1980s as he prepares to step back into the ring. By drawing on the memories of his late mother, he hopes to gain a psychological edge over the formidable Paul, who has been cautioned that even the 14-ounce gloves won't dull the impact of Tyson's fierce punches. Mike Tyson has stated that his decision to fight YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul is motivated by his fame. Nearly 2 decades have passed since the former undisputed heavyweight champion last entered the ring. That fateful night in 2005 ended with a loss to Kevin McBride, after which Iron Mike announced his retirement. His emotional post-fight interview has recently re-emerged online, sparking renewed interest as he prepares for his upcoming clash with the problem child. Tyson's comeback to the ring 4 years ago for an exhibition bout against boxing icon Roy Jones Jr. reignited interest in his boxing career. However, as he prepares for his upcoming fight with Paul, who is 31 years his junior, concerns about Tyson's health have been growing. These apprehensions intensified when the 58-year-old had to pull out of the initial matchup due to complications from an ulcer flare-up. Despite his doctor's orders to stop training, he has returned to the gym and is ready for action. Paul and Tyson are slated to clash on November 15th at the AT&T Arena in Arlington, Texas. Known as the Problem Child, Paul comes into this match riding high after his knockout win against Mike Perry in July, holding an impressive record of 10 wins and just 1 loss. Paul's sole defeat in boxing came at the hands of Tommy Fury last year. This highly anticipated showdown will be streamed live on Netflix, attracting millions of viewers worldwide, with over 880,000 fans expected to attend. The clash between these two competitors promises to be an unforgettable spectacle. Tyson's contribution to these ticket sales is a key reason for his bout with the 27-year-old. In a recent chat with TalkSport, when questioned about his decision to fight now, Iron Mike responded, 58, I'm going to fight in the biggest arena ever, and it's going to be sold out. And who else can do that? When asked about the significance of selling out such a large stadium in the States, he said, it makes me feel like I have to perform. They're giving me all that inspiration and letting me know that, boy, you've got to perform tonight. It's time to perform. In the same conversation, the 58-year-old addressed concerns about his health given the imminent fight, assuring everything is sorted out. I had an ulcer problem. I was eating bad food, he said. When asked if he'll be ready for November 15th, Iron Mike simply replied, thank God. His remarks followed a discussion with Ma Online where Tyson confessed that his diet was responsible for his past health problems. I was doing too much bad food and stuff, and I got sick, he admitted. He has subsequently declared that, to prepare for his match against the young American, he is eating clean and avoiding processed foods. On the Pound 4B podcast, Tyson mentioned that he weighed 230 pounds and typically reached that weight during fight week. He explained that his body had changed somewhat with added mass due to his workouts. He noted that as he worked out, he would gain weight, put on fat, and then convert that fat into muscle, resulting in a heavier physique. Standing at 5'10", Mike Tyson is largely considered a shorter heavyweight compared to the men he's fought and in the general heavyweight boxing landscape. While Henry Cejudo pointed this out, Iron Mike added that he was relatively small, mentioning that his fight weight as a heavyweight champion had been around 217 to 219 pounds. 230 is the biggest you've ever seen my fight weight, he said. Yeah, 230, but my body's changed a little bit. I wear a mask more when I'm working out. You just put on weight, you put on fat, and you turn that fat into muscle, so you become heavier. Yeah, because you're relatively, for the heavyweight division, you're known as a short heavyweight. It's small. I'm not only my fight weight is a heavyweight. I was champ. At 27 or 29, Tyson was able to close the range and hit his opponents with devastating shots because of this exact size difference. In an old interview, a young Mike Tyson talked about using his height to his advantage. My size is to my advantage because most fighters are used to fighting opponents who are 6'3" or 6'2" in the average heavyweight, and I feel that I used it to my advantage because I move my head. I'm very quick and I'm low to the ground, and it's very difficult to hit me. Standing at 6'1" tall with a reach of 76 inches, Jake Paul occupies a space reminiscent of Mike Tyson's physicality. However, with a 31-year age gap favoring Paul, he could possess an edge in both speed and power over the legendary Tyson, who is now in the twilight of his career. Yet Iron Mike remains steadfast, exhibiting a composed determination as he faces what could be the greatest challenge of his storied journey in the ring. In a vintage episode of the JRE, Tyson shared with Joe Rogan his aversion to workouts, claiming they fueled his aggression. With an impressive record of 44 knockouts out of 58 professional fights, Tyson earned his reputation as one of boxing's most intimidating figures, a persona that extended well beyond the ring. Many contend that the former heavyweight champion instilled genuine fear in the hearts of his adversaries. In the same pound-for-pound episode, Henry Cejudo brought up a conversation he previously had about Mike Tyson with Oscar De La Hoya. We talked about fear. I do believe that there's something that makes Mike Tyson special. It's the fact that there's fear in you. When asked to elaborate, Tyson admitted that he considered himself a fear-based person, explaining that his life was largely driven by fear. He shared that he feared success, as achieving it might lead to failure in another area or at a higher level of involvement. I don't know, that's just who I am. I'm a fear-based person. My whole life is based off fear of failing, fear of succeeding, because succeeding may lead to failure in another direction or at a higher participation of that direction. The heavyweight boxing legend acknowledged that despite feeling fear, he doesn't allow it to overwhelm him. He explained that he had learned to control his fear rather than be dominated by it, describing his relationship with fear as one he had developed over time. He credited his mentor for teaching him to understand fear, remarking that without this understanding, he would be a coward. However, he clarified that everyone experiences the same emotions, but what defines a coward or a hero is how they respond. He emphasized that while everyone has these feelings, it's essential to control them. I know how to control my fear. My fear doesn't dominate me. I have a relationship with my fear. So do you believe that you were born with that? Because your story, no, I wasn't born. I was taught. My mentor taught me to understand fear. If you didn't know the dynamics of fear, I would think I'm a coward. But I'm not a coward. Everybody has the same feelings, but what the coward does, that makes him a coward, and what the hero doesn't do, that makes him the hero. But we all have the same feelings, just the controller feels. Mike Tyson and Kamaru Usman explored the role of animosity in the boxing world, highlighting how it has enabled fighters like Floyd Mayweather and, more recently, Jake Paul to market their bouts effectively. Tyson is gearing up for a professional boxing showdown against Paul. The 58-year-old recently joined the Pound for Pound podcast hosted by Kamaru and Henry, where he tackled the backlash regarding the significant age difference between himself and Paul. Tyson expressed that he feels youthful and challenged the notion that his age